Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews. Have you ever wondered what games you should sell or you should use? Find out here at Purge Reviews. Find out on our top 10 list what games you cannot miss. Don't forget to subscribe to Purge.
The Mall of Horror. You're going to get a really creepy box here. And the box will look much scarier than what is inside. The rule book you're going to get is fairly easy. I don't like the organization of this whatsoever. I don't like that the card explanation is in where you would use it at. That seems really helpful, but it's not when you're teaching it. It'd be much better to have a reference on the back or something. It's not. The rules are a lot of text thrown in here. It's not. Yes, sure, the rules are here. But there's like powers for the players that are really hard for these different tokens you're using. It's very hard to find it in this rule book. I would recommend going online and getting a cheat sheet if you're going to teach or play this game. Rule book will teach it to you, but man, it's a struggle. You can see here I got something printed out to help me with that. Let's look inside. You do have an insert. This is how I kind of do mine. I have the cards here and the closed things kind of thrown in there. I have everything bagged up. I have the director's cut in here. I have the little box and the dice. Now my dice, you'll notice, and I haven't played this game a ton, but you can start to see the pips are coming off of it, and that's happening to all the dice. These are pretty nice how you put these together. I feel like they're very good condition, and they hold up really, really well, and you'll be using these a lot in the game. The board's a little busy, but really it's meant to look a little bit thematic. There's only a few rooms here that you'll be using, and it's very easy to use once you get the hang of it. So what you'll have is you'll have these characters that you'll be playing, and there's 7, 5, 3, and 1. The 1 will only be used with a certain number count. You won't be playing that with most of the time. The 3 will give you 2 votes. The 7 is worth the most points, and the 5 can hold back 2 zombies. I'll show you that in gameplay. What you're going to do is have the game sort of saved set up, and all the players will be in different locations based on the setup of the game. I'm going to take you through a turn of the game and kind of show you how it. The first thing you'll do is you'll search. Anybody in the parking lot will search, and you'll vote. The way you vote in this game is anybody who is here, so this case we got red, blue, and black, they will vote who will get to take a card. And voting works pretty much the same everywhere you go. So I'm going to vote for red, and you would think, well, wouldn't black just vote for themselves, blue, and red? Well, in the parking lot, you're going to have these cards that you'll get. Whoever gets voted to get the card will take one. They will take another one, put it on the bottom and discard it, and give another one to anybody they want. It can be somebody here or anybody else that's playing the game. So normally what would happen in this case would be red and blue would agree. Red will say, blue, if you vote for me, I'll give you the extra card, and black will be left out. Black will be trying to make his own deal. Not a whole lot to negotiate with. It's a trust-building game. So then red and blue vote for red. They simultaneously reveal. Black voted for himself, and red gets the card. Now, these cards that you'll be getting in the parking lot will do different things. So sprint is when you're running to a location, will let you choose a different one. A threat will allow you to get an extra vote. Security cameras will let you look at the dice. Hardware will let you build. Grenades let you kill a couple of those zombies, as do chainsaw and a lot of the weapons. And hidden lets you hide so you don't have to be eaten by zombies or participate in the vote. So, and there's a bunch of cards that do a bunch of different things, and there's no icons on here to tell you what they do. You just have to learn them. So in the parking lot, first thing you vote is to see who gets a card. You draw 3, you keep 1, discard 1, and you give 1 away to somebody. None of your deals are binding. The second thing you'll do is you elect a chief of security. And all the players here in the security headquarters will vote to see who becomes the head of security. Head of security is important because head of security will be the first player. In addition, the head of security will be rolling the dice to bring the zombies out. And they're the only ones at the table, unless you have a security camera, that will know where the zombies are going. And that can be very important. So head of security can be very important also. So if black and red are sitting by each other, he might be okay with red having it because he's second in line to get it. And the green might be like, well, look, if yellow gets it, I'm last. If this was the seating arrangement. So it might be best for him maybe say the red get it and let green go last. So there can be some negotiations, and then you'll vote just like you did. If there's ever a tie, everybody votes whether you're there or not. So once this head of security is assigned, Then what he'll do is he'll take these 4 dice into the box and he'll shuffle them up and he'll be able to look at them. In this case, he knows zombies will be going to level 5, 4, 3, and 2. And each of the locations have a number. So he knows 1 zombie will be going to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 5, and 1 to 4. And that can be very important information for the security guard to have. At this point, everybody will choose a destination. You look right here, and you'll be choosing what location you'll be going to. So let's say red picks 3, and red is going first. So that means that red is going to attempt to come to the number 3 spot. There's 3 people here, and it has 4 and only 1 zombie. So he knows that's a pretty safe location. And you kind of want to get out of the parking lot, and I'll explain why the parking lot is probably the most dangerous position to be in. So red moving to 3 would be a pretty good thing. So after everybody picks their location face down, then the security guard will reveal where the zombies are going. In this case, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there's going to be 1 in the parking lot. Then we reveal where we're going to go. In this case, red is going to 3. And you have to move 1 of your people to a different location. You must. So let's say blue also picked 3. Well, 3 is full. We know that because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 pins here. So only 4 people can go here, and there's 4. So if blue moves this guy, he knows he's going to be bounced back into the parking lot. So his strategic decision may be to take his lowest one that's already in the parking lot and bump him back in. Okay, so it's simultaneous reveal on that. Now, once everybody moves, the zombies will attack. And I'm going to show you how that works. So if the zombies happen to be equal to the number of markers here, then they will eat and fight somebody. Now in this case, we have a 5. The 5s are worth 2. They can hold back 2 zombies. So since there's 2 5s here, they can actually hold back all these guys. So you move all the characters around, then we'll find out which location has the most 7s. If there's a tie, no zombies go out, but this one has 2, which is the most. So we would add a zombie to this location. You would find out which location has the most people. In this case, we have 4 here and 4 here. It's a tie, so nothing would happen. But if this place only had 3 and this place had 4, we would add a zombie here. Now in this case, now the zombies would attack. So let's go do this one right here, where there's 4 zombies and 4 people. Normally, because the zombies are equal to the number of players, they would be able to eat somebody, except for we have 2 5s, and the 5s are able to hold off 2 zombies, so they would be fine here. But let's say that this had the 2 3s here. So there's 4 people, there's no 5s, there's 4 people total and 4 zombies. The zombies are going to eat somebody. So what they would do, the players would now vote who's going to be eaten. Now in this case, it might be pretty easy because the blue could vote for yellow. But if yellow and black stay together, they could tie it, and then everybody else would get to vote on this and see who's going to be there. But if yellow was smart, she would say, hey, let's vote black out. And usually you'll vote out whoever's winning. These all have point values, so 7 and 3. In this case, blue might be smart to vote with black to get the yellow 7 out. That makes yellow lose 7 victory points. So that can be very, very helpful. If a zombie eats somebody, in this case, let's say the yellow 7, then it comes out and all the zombies will leave. If he doesn't eat anybody, then the zombies stay there from round to round. And if there's ever 8 zombies at a location, then it will close down. And you'd put one of these on there. So let's say there was 8 here. This would close down, and this place would no longer be available because it's been ran over. Now, the zombies in the parking lot react a little bit differently. They will always eat somebody. So if there's 2 zombies here, they're going to eat, okay? Regardless of the bruiser scores or how many are here. They're always going to eat. Every zombie here is going to eat somebody. After the zombies eat, either leave or stay the board, then you're going to start over by voting for the parking lot again. The game is going to end in one of 2 ways. All the characters still alive are in one location, except for location number 4, or there are only 4 characters left in the game. If you're playing 6 and there'd be 6 characters left, then you add up the scores on the little tokens. Whoever has the highest score wins. It's a complete voting game. There are some cards that come in and combat that a little bit, but for the most part, you're going to be voting, and people will be voting with you, remembering how you vote, remembering how you kept your score. There's not a whole lot to negotiate with this in this game. You know, it kind of makes sense where you're going to vote based on who has victory points left and who's winning, because you usually take out whoever's in first. But it's a complete voting game. Mall of Horror has become one of my quick hour, I have 6 people to play a game, go-to games. It's a really easy game to teach. Although there are some little rules that people have to kind of pick up on, like where the zombies are coming and how many zombies have to be there. And I really don't like the cards don't tell you what they do. They just have a word on them. And they're not hard, but there's no category in the rule book, so you can just go over every card. What the cards do is in the appropriate section that you would utilize the cards, but there's no description. So I wish that the cards had some icons on them, or some words that just tell people what they are. The word sprint. What does sprint mean? Well, sprint means that if you choose a location and you don't want to go there, you play the card and go to another location. I think there was ways to get that across without just using the word sprint. So that's what problem I have with the game in general, is those cards are hard to explain, and you pick that up as you play, and there's only a couple of the different cards in the set. It's not a very complicated game, especially considered to its sequel, City of Horror. But Mall of Horror is really great because what you're doing is you're voting. Now the problem is that sometimes the voting is rather obvious. Look, we can knock out my 3 or your 7. What do you think people are going to vote for? Well, if all things being equal, they're going to get rid of your 7, right? Because it's worth more points. Sometimes you get in a situation where it's just one-on-one and we're both voting, blah, blah, blah. So other people have to come in and vote for the tiebreaker. And that's fine. And that kind of just divvies it up. So a lot of times the decisions can be pretty obvious. Where the game shines is when it's obvious, but you have a card or something to negotiate with, right? Well, look, we're going to be over here voting. I'm going to vote with you down the line here. And some of that can play in. And I think City of Horror fixes some of this, but I'm going to stick to Mall of Horror. But in Mall of Horror, you don't always have a lot to negotiate. If you're lucky enough to have one of those cards, maybe you can negotiate that out. But other than kind of being in the parking lot and getting one of those cards, and I played plenty of games where I didn't end up with any of those cards, that I think that you're negotiating for future favors. That's about all you got. And the favors are non-binding, so I don't know if people are really going to help you out. Because at the end of the day, you have 3 people on your team, characters that you're playing, and most people are going to lose 1, if not everybody. If you lose 2, you're probably out of the game, and 3, you have lost the game. So if you lose 2, you're probably not going to win. So the decisions become very obvious. You don't have a lot to negotiate with because that margin of error is so thin, right? So that's going to play into it a little bit, I think. So the negotiations aren't as cutthroat as they could be, and they do come off being a little fairly obvious. But that's okay, because the game plays quick, it's really fun, and the game has not fallen flat for me. Okay? Let me talk about what I do like about this game. I like that you feel the mounting pressure of the zombies. I like that the one person, the security guard, is able to see the dice. He knows what's coming out. So, and he's going to go first. So you kind of want to watch, where is he going to go? Where are people going to go? But if you're going last in turn order, I mean, you really got to play this out in your head where you think people are going to go. Because if a room is full, you're going to go to that parking lot. And that parking lot is dangerous. Super dangerous. Because every zombie in that parking lot is going to eat someone. So if there's 3 people and there's 3 zombies, they're all going to be eaten. But if you're in another room, there's barriers you can build and there's ways to keep them out based on the number of players. And munch, 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 munch is what those zombies do. And that mounting pressure just builds and builds and builds and builds. And it's a super, super fun game. I really like this game a lot. If you haven't played this one, I would not recommend you jumping straight to City of Horror. City of Horror is the gamer's version of this. Mall of Horror has a place in your collection because it's a fun little party game. It's 6 people. You're not rolling dice. Everything is based on voting. And you have to just kind of laugh when people outvote you. If you're the guy like me, I'm the gamer guy, I bring the games, I'm probably not going to win because people are just going to vote for me. If there's a tie, they're going to vote for me and I'm going to die. And I just kind of roll with that and have a good time. But this can be a super simple game. And a lot of times you have 6 people, unless you're playing with all gamers, you might have that one person who just doesn't pick up on games as quickly. It's going to be a truly fun game because they can pick up on it, have a good time, and maybe even dominate this game based on negotiation skills. And that's a true winner to me. This is one of my favorite party games. I know it's only 6, but it is a great fit in my collection for that 6 player. I want something quick to finish out the night. Let's play something light, just laugh and have a good time. It's Mall of Horror. The theme, the box looks a lot scarier than anything you're getting inside the box. The cards are not scary. Nothing you're using. These little miniature zombies that you can't even tell what they are, to be honest, because they're so small and they're on the board. So nothing on the board is going to look as scary as the box. If the box cover turns you off because you think it's going to be really scary, What's inside will not turn you off, and it will not be scary to you. I promise. Take a look at the components and make that decision. But you might just need to put a piece of paper over that box cover because they made it really scary. They really did. And that is a shame because that's not really what this game is. I'm going to highly recommend this game if you don't mind games that just have voting. That's pretty much what this game is. It's just all voting and moving around. You're going to have secret movement. You're going to pre-program where you're going to move at least one of your characters or only one of your characters. You can move them to that location, and sometimes you're just going to get a bum deal. If you're going last in turn order, you're just going to get a bum deal sometimes. And that's kind of the fun. Well, go to the security guard office and become head of security, and you'll solve that problem. Or somebody next to you. You might want to vote this guy to be head of security because he's before you in turn order, and you'll be closer to going first. Brilliant. Really like this game a lot. Highly recommend it. Fills a huge hole in my collection of a 6-player game, and it really, really shines. Mall of Horror, definitely recommend, and it's an absolute keeper for me. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel, lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing games.